Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my February wrap-up, what I read. We will talk about my statistics, what my Bookly app says, and what my Goodreads app says, and just how I overall felt about the books that I read in the month of February. So if you'd like to hear it, here it go. Okay, so Bookly app gonna tell you that I didn't read as much as I was supposed to. I was not reading every day. I did not meet my, I think it's like 75 hours a month that I want to read. I didn't, none of that, baby. I dropped the ball in February. February is the shortest month of the year, as we all know. I didn't realize how short it was because I blinked. I tell you, I did like this here and the month was over. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I got to read all of these books at the same time. But my Goodreads app says that I am on track for the year to meet my goal. So I'm not too stressed about it. I kind of was beating myself up about it because instead of reading, I was just like getting in my bed and going to sleep, or watching television or doing other things when I could have been reading. So March, we're going to do better. If you saw my March TBR video, you know the things that I am going to implement for the month of March to make my reading a little bit better and to just keep on top of myself. I definitely read, one, because I love it, but also for my mental health. When I read more, I feel better. So I need to keep up. I read 4 books in the month of February. One of them I did not finish. So let's just start from the top and work our way down. So the first book we have is The Coldest Winter Ever. This was the Shelby and the Book Club book pick for the month of February. And if you want to see like an in-depth review of this, you can watch my IGTVs on my Instagram page for the book discussions that I did. I would give this like a 3-star, maybe a 4-star. Reading this as an adult was a totally different experience than what it was as a kid. And I think now I look for things that have substance, that have lessons to teach, or something like that. Like I wanted what was this supposed to mean? And this just did not have it reading it as an adult. So whereas previously I was super excited to read the sequel, now I'm not so excited about it. I'm still gonna buy it, but I don't know how soon I'll read it. So there's that. Next, we have The Girl with the Louding Voice. I absolutely love this. It was so good. It's a story about a girl named Aduni, I think is how you pronounce it. Takes place in Nigeria, and it goes through a lot of different things that she went through in her life and how she overcame, and it just is a really, 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 really good book to me. This was the book club pick for my Patreon book club. If you are not a part of it, the link is in the underneath a bar. You can totally sign up for $10 a month. You guys get access to everything super early. Zoom meetups with me where we hang out and talk all things books and all that kind of stuff. You get to pick which book we read every month. It's super fun. I love my Patreon group. They're super awesome and they interact with me all the time. I love it. So if you want to go join and have a chance to pick what the Patreon group reads, the link is down below. What are you waiting for? But I really enjoyed this book. I think everybody should read this. The writing was good. It was rich in culture, which is something that I totally love in a book. Like The Coldest Winter Ever is rich in culture as well, right? But there was no, I felt like it was like, a lot was missing. A lot was missing. Like when you go to fancy restaurants and they be serving you meals that's this big, and you be like, where's the rest for all the money I spent? That's how I felt reading The Coldest Winter Ever as an adult. But this was really good. I think everybody should read this. Next, we have A Knock at Midnight by Brittany Barnett. Now, this is the one that I did not finish. And the reason that I did not finish it is because this book is heavy. It has a lot of information in it. It talks about a lot of stuff that it's just hard to read. It talks about the crack epidemic and how it affects the Black community, how it affected the author, and how it affects a woman named Sharonda who got a life sentence for her, I believe the charge was like conspiracy to distribute an illegal substance. But it also touches a lot on racism and how racism really dictates a lot of what happens in the Black community and what happens a lot in our justice system as well. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, or not that they don't realize it, because I feel like it's blatant and it's there and it's in your face. I think once I finish reading this, I totally want to do like a standalone video review about it, but there's a lot of information in it, so I wasn't able to finish it. And I'm not necessarily going to give myself a deadline of when I want to finish this, because like I said, it's heavy. And it's a lot of stuff in here that I had to kind of like stop reading and go and research. So I want to take my time with this. It will be amongst my reading. I didn't put this in my March TBR, but it'll probably be amongst my reading for March. I just don't know that I'm going to finish it in March. But once I'm finished with it, I want to do a standalone video review of this book, because the writing is phenomenal. The information it is in it is phenomenal. And I think everybody should read it. It's just a lot. I think another thing that I would suggest to go along with what they're talking about in this book is a documentary on Netflix called Crack. It made a lot of the information that was in here a little bit more easy to digest, and kind of put the information in layman terms, in a way that made a little bit more sense to me. Like, I felt reading this, like, I have some friends that are lawyers, and I was texting them like, what does this mean? And what the fuck does that mean? And all that kind of stuff. So it's good. It's just a lot. So I don't know when I'll be finished with this. Next, we have The Prophets. This was the first book that I read in February, and oh my goodness, did I enjoy it. There will be a video with my review of this book. I absolutely loved the writing. I loved how the story was put together. I am a super big fan of books that show the perspectives, the perspectives of everyone in the book. So that, to me, when books are written that way, bless you, Mom. Can y'all hear her sneezing? So I'm a really big fan of books that show like different perspectives of characters, because I feel like you get to see the story from everybody's vantage point and their feelings about it. And I feel like it kind of like guides you along with maybe where the author wants you to go or where the author doesn't want you to go. I was a little apprehensive at first about reading this because it is a slave story and it is about slaves that are gay. Not that I have a problem with that. That's not why I was apprehensive about it. I just, in my mind, I'm like, that's an easy recipe for torture porn. Like, an easy recipe for this to be very violent and very just hard to read. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I really, really enjoyed this, and I can't wait for you guys to see my full wrap-up video or review video for this book. I read it. You have to read it. And then last but not least, I read The Yellow Wife, which I also did a review for, because I totally enjoyed this book as well. It was a different perspective on a slave story, one that I feel like I've never really seen before. I mean, I haven't read every slave story that there is, so I could be wrong, but I feel like it was totally a unique approach to the story of a mulatto. So this is about a slave named Phoebe who is sold to a different owner who owns this jail, but because she is a mulatto and she is white passing, he decides to make her the mistress of his plantation. And it grapples with the idea that, you know, everybody assumes that the lighter skinned, fairer skinned slaves have it easy, and they don't. They just have a different set of problems than the other slaves do. So this was really, really interesting. And it also kind of brings up the conversation of white passing Black women living their lives as white women, and what that means and why. So that was really good. Like I said, I do have a review coming for that, which you guys should see in the next couple of weeks or so. I'm not sure which one I'm going to post first. I don't remember, to be honest. It's a lot going on up here in my noggin. But that's what I read for the month. It was a way better reading month to me than January was, because in January, I feel like I read a whole bunch and like barely liked any of what I read. I really liked any of what I read. Whereas this month, I feel like I didn't read enough. Excuse me, but I enjoyed what I read. So I guess it's kind of like a give or take type thing. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you guys haven't been told today, I love you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. What did you read in February? What did you like? Have you read any of these books? If so, let me know. What did you feel about them? And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.